What's up, guys? We're back, and it's time for the highlight of the round of 8. Zest against Rain.
Oh my God.
The two best Protosses in the world are here to duke it out.
That's right.
The winner goes on to face off against Sue.
Yeah, let's put this in perspective. Zest won a GSL. He won that GSL Global Tournament. Okay, he won Kespa Cup.
Yes.
Made it to the finals of IEM Toronto, which is one of the most stacked tournaments of all time. He's pretty good. He's a pretty solid Protoss. He's 100% going to BlizzCon. He's, I would say, since I predicted him, 95% to win BlizzCon.
Okay.
But he's going up against Rain. And
Rain is the man crush of Artosis.
Oh, he's much more than that. He's the love of my Protoss life.
And also, I think he's got some of the best builds, the most consistent builds. If you want to copy a Protoss player, this is the guy to copy.
These are the two Protosses, okay? If there's a third Protoss, it's SOS, but there's not a third Protoss. These are the two Protosses, okay? Someone's like, oh, CJ Hero. If there's a fourth Protoss, it's CJ Hero. But there's two Protosses. It's called Rain and Zest, and this should be amazing.
Do you think no matter who moves on, because I know you think Rain's going to go on, but if Zest moves on, do you think Zest beats Sue, no matter what?
I think the winner of this absolutely will go to the finals.
Okay.
I find it hard to think that one of these guys won't. They're just both so strong and so smart in every way. Like, everything they do is so brilliant and amazingly well done.
So with you predicting that Rain is going to win this, is this going to be a 3-1 or a 3-2?
I think it'll be a 3-2. I think it's going to be a 3-2. Okay. Like, all right, now here's my thought process on this. I actually think Rain is better at PvP right now. Last time they played, he showed that he was at that moment. The time that they played before that, it seemed like Zest was better. But in fact, I believe that's where Zest lost in Pro League against Rain. But I thought that Zest was actually playing like a little bit better in some ways. But and before that, Zest was actually beating Rain. But I think right now, Rain is the one that kind of has the PvP.
Also, you have to factor in that these guys have played against each other a lot.
Yeah.
So
and they're of such a level. Okay, these two are of such a level. I think this is going to be almost all mind games.
Well, to top that all off, PvP is already a huge mind game matchup.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look at how these two players got here.
To the sky, up to the sky, up to the sky, up to the sky. CRK, gonna get your heart rate up to the sky, up to the sky, up to the sky, up to the sky. Easy arcade going out of control.
1%의 유리함도 살릴 줄 아는 그런 능력이 있는 정은종 선수입니다.
네,
And now we're going to go on to the interview with our two players, Zest and Rain, for our final match here in the round of 8.
현존 최고의 프로토스 간의 대결이라는데 아무도 이의를 제기하지 못할 것 같은데요. 자, 오늘의 상대 주성 선수와 정은종 선수
Says nobody doubts this is the best PvP we could ask for.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Both players say hello.
네. 자, 먼저 주성 선수 캐스파컵 우승 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Congratulations.
네. 정말 기세가 좋은데 상반기에 이어서
Congratulations on your win on
하반기에도
the Kespa
결실이
Cup.
Oh,
있네요.
congratulations on the Kespa Cup.
제가
Not only season 1, you just keep doing really well wherever you go.
2014년을 제로 만든다고 했잖아요.
네.
네, 그 말대로 지금 잘 흘러가고
Yes, I said
있는 것
at the beginning of this year, I was going to make
그러니까요.
this year for me. I was
정말
going to
뜨거운
keep dominating.
사실 프로토스전을 상대하면서 우승컵도 거머쥐었고 이번에 2,8강 상대도 푸프전이니까 굉장히 유리할 것 같은데요. 정인종
So you only
선수
had
데뷔
PvP
잘 하셨나요?
matches, and you beat all the top
데뷔할 거
Protosses,
없이
and now you're here against
푸프전만
another
너무
Protoss. How does that feel?
배워가지고 지금 푸프전 기량이 진짜 최대치로 끌어올린
Yeah, I know.
상황이어가지고
네.
I had a lot of
그냥
Protoss matches.
연습해왔던 거에 그냥 조금
At
추가로
this point in time, I
이렇게
feel confident against any Protoss I face.
이렇게 기선을 제압하고 계시는데 자 정윤종 선수와도 이야기를 나눠보겠습니다. 참 중요한 시기에 이 8강전을 하게 됐습니다. 소감이 어떠세요?
네,
How do you feel, Rain?
네, 근데 8강전
You're now here in the round of 8.
하지만 네, 별로 저한테는 중요한 시기는 아니고
I know the round of 8's really important.
네, 그냥 다른 리그랑 똑같아서 딱히 특별함은 없고 네,
You
그래도
know, and
제가
at the same time, though, this feels just like an
할 수
interleague
있는
for me.
노력은 다 했으니까 좋은 결과 있을 것 같아요.
네. SK텔레콤 T1 유니폼을
I did do my best to
입고는
prepare
GSL
for tonight's matches.
경기가 어떻게 보면 마지막이 될 수도 있는데 4강까지는 그래도 이 T1 유니폼을 입고 있죠. 어떤 마음으로 오늘 경기장에 오셨나요?
So this might be the last match for you with SKT.
우선 오늘 지면 네,
How do you feel?
5년 동안 있었던 팀을 떠나야 돼가지고 그래도 마지막으로 한 번 더 있기
Yeah, I've been
위해서
with
꼭
SKT for 5
이기자고
years now.
생각하고 나왔습니다.
네, 어윤수 선수도
So I really want to win this here
올라와서
tonight.
멋진 경기 하고 싶다고 인터뷰에서
I want to close my career with an
말씀하셨어요.
SKT
어윤수
win
선수
here and a
보러
happy
가고
ending.
싶으시죠?
아, 걔는 지금 저 잡고 이기려고 이기고 올라가려고 그런 것 같은데
네.
네,
He'll be meeting Sue if you advance to the
모르겠어요.
next
일단
round, though.
윤수는 제껴두고 일단
Yes, I
주성훈
know.
선수 이겨야 될 것 같아요.
네, 이 경기가 정말 많은 분들이 기대하고
If Sue faces
있습니다.
me,
현존 최고 프로토스가 너무
he's
일찍
for sure
많이
gonna beat me.
만났다. 두 분도 이런 말을 의식하고 있으실 것
But he doesn't
같은데요.
think it's gonna happen.
서로에 대한 평가는 어떨까요? 먼저 주성우 선수, 정윤종 선수 상대로서 어떠세요?
So a lot of people are saying you're the two best Protoss players in the world.
스타투 너무
How do you feel about that?
오고서부터 되게 꾸준하게 진짜 제일 잘 하시는 것 같은데
네,
저는 그것보다 더 높은 곳에서
I think Rain is a top class Protoss.
네, 더 높은 곳에서 꾸준하고 싶다. 자, 정윤종
but I might
선수는
be slightly
주성우
better
선수
than him.
어떻게 생각하시나요?
네, 우선 잘하시고 열심히 하신다고 많이 들었는데 그러게요. 일단 너무 많이 만나서 솔직히 그렇게 좋지는 않은데
네,
Yes, I've met
그냥
Zest
뭐
in the past
평소에
so many
잘한다고
times.
생각하고 있고요. 그냥 상대
I think he's a great
인정하는데
Protoss player.
저도 못하는 선수는 아니기 때문에
I can't deny his
오늘
skill.
재밌을 것 같아요.
네. 사실 이 최근에
But you know, I think I'm pretty good as well. So this should be a great match tonight.
최근에 다 이기셨잖아요.
네.
그때 근거 있는 자신감이다 이렇게 말씀하시기도 했는데 자, 그래서 기선제압 조금 할 필요는 있을 것 같아요. 오늘 자신 있으세요?
Are you really confident against Zest
네,
then?
그때는 자신 있었는데 오늘은 조금 많이 떨어졌네요.
그렇군요. 자 오늘 경기 전에
You know,
좀
before the
많은
interview, I was
분들이
fully confident.
플래시도 터지고 있고
But you know,
기대가
I'm maybe a little bit less
큽니다.
confident tonight.
앞서 김대엽 선수가 탈락을 했어요.
네.
그 대신 복수해줘야지 이런 마음도 있을
Your
것
teammate
같은데
stats has been
더
eliminated.
지금 각오가 남다른가요?
솔직히 대엽이가 이길 줄
You think you can get
알았는데
revenge on
진짜
SKT
이길
here?
줄 알았는데
네.
좀 그냥
You know, I really thought
방송이라
Stats was
그런지
going to
좀
move on actually.
제가 보기엔 좀 대엽이가 못한 것 같고
네.
그냥
I
일단
guess it's the
오늘
broadcasted
이기면
match. He might have been a little bit nervous.
선수도 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
그렇습니다. 자, 이 두 분 잠시 후면 이 한 분이 떨어진다는 게
But I'm
정말
not stats.
안타까운데요. 오늘 명경기
So I think I
들어가기
can move
전에
on.
서로에게 강력한 한마디씩 나눠보도록 하죠. 자, 먼저 정윤중 선수.
All right, any final words to each other before we start this match?
그냥 딱히 하고 싶은 말은 없고 그냥 네, 주성 선수랑 하면
You know, I don't have much
항상
to
재밌는
say.
경기가 나왔던 것 같아요. 관심도 많고.
네.
그래서
Whenever I have a
오늘 좀
match against
치열하게
Zest, it's always
했으면
fun though.
좋겠습니다.
네, 오늘 꿀잼 경기
So
기대하겠습니다.
I hope you guys watch and have a
자,
lot of fun
정윤중,
with these
주성우
matches, watching these
선수도
matches
한
here
말씀
tonight.
해주시죠.
Any final words to
정윤종
Ray and Zest?
선수한테 되게 중요한 시기인 것 같은데 뭐 승부는 승부니까
I think this is a really important time for Rain.
네,
But
했으면 좋겠어요.
this is
네, 오늘도 이
esports.
프로토스전 기대를 해보겠습니다.
There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser.
이제 잠시 후면
So let's see what happens.
프로토스 중에 한 분만이 4강 진출을 이뤄냅니다. 자, 이 명경기 다전제 대결의 승부가 어떻게 될지 많이 기대해 주시고요. 오늘 경기 시작하기 전에
That does it.
선수의 데이터 확인해
We're going to go on to this best of 5 now. Let's take a closer look at the stats here for these two players. As you can see, Zest ranked second in WCS, Rain 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
22nd, excuse me.
Rain actually has to win this GSL to go to BlizzCon. I hope my predictions come true because I think that BlizzCon will be much
we
better.
know
to
they
have.
always do, Artosis. Those predictions always
They
do.
generally do, actually. Yes, thank you, Tasis. You guys can see that Rain actually beat Zest already in this tournament. Both of them have taken out ridiculously strong opponents.
Yes. Cannot deny that. Looking at the players that are here right now.
Really, really exciting
Round
match.
of 16, round of 32.
You know, I was saying before, I think this is going to come down so heavily to mind games. Like, these two can do kind of safe PvP builds against everyone else except for, I would say, SOS and maybe, like, Hero. But against, like, anyone else, these guys can do safe PvP builds and just kill them. But, like, these two against each other, it's like stars colliding. It's like Nest T versus Nest T or something. You know, it's like from the old days. You know, they're both so damn good. It's going to be mind games. We're going to see a lot of mind games. I'm going to try to point them out every time that I possibly can here, but I feel like it would take me 15 solid minutes of talking to go into every little mind game that we're going to see.
You got to keep in mind they played against each other so much, which makes the mind games even more complicated.
Yeah, really, and they have so many games to look back at.
It's different if they hadn't faced off against each other, but simply had VODs out. But these guys have met against each other a lot. So let's see what happens. It's a best of 5 here. So, you know, obviously they know all the maps ahead of time.
Yep.
They have to prepare on that, but there's a possibility of them altering some of their builds here as they start to see how the opposing players playing throughout this. We're going to start out with Foxtrot Labs, then Catalina, Deadwing, Merry-Go-Round, and Nimbus.
Really cool this map order. With Foxtrot Labs being the first map, I don't think we're going to see any proxies on this map because it's such a proxy map. I think that the most, like I'm talking proxy gates, I'm talking Cannon Rush, we're not going to see anything like that. I don't think from these two on this map because it's too obvious. They both should scout for it or maybe not scout for it, realizing that it's too obvious. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we see some sort of like possibly a proxy Stargate or something like that there.
We could. We'll have to see. We actually have both players in game now, and we're going to be starting this shortly. Here is Zest. This guy is one of the best Protosses of all time. He's jacked, Artosis. He's handsome.
Yeah, he's got it all. Except he's not Rain, so not really all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You do make a strong point there. He's proven that he's very calm under pressure.
Yeah. He's
GSL Code S Champion, and look at this. Versus other Protosses. Are you kidding me? Look at all these wins.
It's so crazy. And that's just GSL. Like, this guy has won ridiculous amounts of PvP in the Kespa Cup, in Pro League, you know, abroad. Well, no, not abroad. He didn't play any Protosses. But, I mean, the guy is ridiculous. He is so strong PvP. Really, only Rain can give him run for his money in the matchup.
I'm actually really interested in what Rain's stats are going to be now that we're seeing Zest here. And the only loss here is to Rain for GSL. That's pretty crazy. But what other possible players has Rain lost to in PvP? It's got to be a pretty low number.
Yeah, Rain has been in a lot more GSLs than Zest, though, so it shouldn't be quite as good, right? Because, like, Zest Royal-Roaded the first one he won, so that's like your stats are always going to be a little bit inflated.
Yeah, one of our only Royal Roaders, actually.
Yeah.
Royal Roader, by the way, guys, somebody who actually got into the GSL Code S the first time and then won the whole thing. Now, here's Rain. He's been around for longer than Zest. He's a more seasoned veteran. But is that going to be enough? Right now, Zest is very much so dominating. Okay, here's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Very similar stats. You know, losing once to Hero as well, which is definitely one of the very best Protosses in the whole world. I think you have to put him top 4. So that's no big deal to lose a match to Hero. And then, of course, Zest, the only other guy. So these guys are just complete gods of this matchup. You could not ever ask for a better PvP than what we're about to see. Even if it's a 3-0, it's going to be a fantastic match to see.
I'm so pumped to see how the opening builds are going to pan out for these two.
Yeah.
PvP is such a tricky matchup. There's so many ways you can open.
There are so many ways. There's so many trick ways to open.
Yeah, ways to fake out your opponent. And
this is going to be great, man.
It's just about time. Tell your friends to tune in. This is going to be a fantastic PvP. This could easily have been a GSL Code S Finals. Map 1, Foxtrot Labs.
Well, this is a crazy map.
We haven't seen these guys play PvP on this map before. Either of them.
Oh, we haven't? Okay.
Not in the stats. Yeah, no PvP in that matchup.
Yeah, not in GSL. I know that Zest played on it in Kespa Cup in PvP.
It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to be doing now, though, here.
It certainly will be. This is a map you see a lot of proxies on. Will we see proxies from these guys? Kind of doubting it.
All right, the game is loaded up. Zest against Rain, game number 1 here in the GSL Code S. In the bottom left, a champion.
KT roster Zest.
And in the upper right, in the red, another champion.
SK텔레콤 T1 Rain.
Both well-deserved champions, no doubt.
Well, the world is watching. We're going to see the PvP meta shift a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
On the ladder after these games unfold here now.
You know, one of the most amazing things was watching. Oh God! Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw something there with the Chrono Boost. It was just a little bit late for one of the players. Anyways, you know, one of the very interesting things, like when you and I were down doing the Taiwan Open, and it was almost all ZVZs in that tournament, you were mentioning
Zest is the best.
That's right.
Protoss OP. The only way to beat a Protoss is with another Protoss.
When it's these two, that's a fact.
Yes.
But, you
Sorry,
know,
what were you saying?
You mentioned when we were down in Taiwan doing the Taiwan Open.
Yeah.
Because there were so many Zergs. You're like, the ZVZ metagame of this tournament is going to shift during this tournament. And you were completely right. It's just something that you see. Like, trends appear and change during the course of the tournament because there's so many. And we actually saw that a lot in the Kespa Cup because there was a lot of PvPs going on. And it centered around 2 gateway openings. And I'll get more into that if we see a 2 gateway opening from either of these guys. But it's a very interesting thing that we can see. Now, notice Rain has this pylon down there. And Zest has a very similar pylon. They're probably going to do that with pylons for the entire match. Because they want the probe to scout it and say, oh, a Stargate could go here.
Yeah, the mind game's already beginning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, of course, we'll have to see if they, in fact, do make a Stargate there or not. But, I mean, PvP is so tricky that even the placement of the first 2 or 3 pylons can actually impact. But granted, you might not even see tech there, but you might look and say, ooh, that looks like it's in a spot where he might want to hide some tech.
You're completely right about that. It's like the mind games are of that level. Now, we do have Zest going 2-gate, and it looks like we're going to have a proxy of some sort down here by Rain.
Stargate?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a Twilight Council, actually. Excuse me.
Now, the thing is, this could be for Blank, and this could be for DTs. I think it'll be for DTs because it's Rain, and Rain does like DT openers from time to time. They can be very, very safe. And, well, he's up against a 2-gate now, but the 2-gate can go into anything. It can go into 3-gate, it can go into Expand, it can go into Twilight, it can go into Oracle. So, looks like it's going to be an Expand, though. All right.
Well,
let's see now.
Let's see, it's DTs. There it is.
Yeah.
Holding our breath for that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, most fast expand builds are followed by a Robo, but not always. You can follow it up with a Twilight or a Stargate. You're actually very wide open on that, but like the Robo is by far the most common. And
there it is, the Robo.
Ooh.
Well, Zest could be in very good shape. We'll have to see how much damage the DTs can actually do, though. You know, sometimes even if you have an Observer out, it's not in the right spot, or the DTs just outmaneuver it or something.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Has happened before.
And sometimes you'll even see like a pressure with Stalkers, and they'll make an Immortal or something.
Yeah.
Not this time, but it happens.
Okay, so the sentries are now back here in the minerals. That Robo Bay is going to be finishing up the same time that the Dark Shrine does. So he's going to be able to just Chrono Boost out an Observer. Again, this all does come down to where is the Observer actually at, though, at the time.
Yeah. It's really cool to see it's right a DT Robo build against a fast expand with Robo. Now, the thing about PvP is if your DTs kill 0, that doesn't necessarily mean you're really that far behind because you have a tech route where they have to be very careful against it.
Yeah, they'll definitely need more than one Observer. They'll need something back home to check, and then they'll need an Observer with the army if they want to move out. So I guess the big thing we want to look for is does he lose these DTs right away and not do any damage? Okay, so he sees the first DT.
Yes, he certainly does. Well, he runs right up. I guess, well...
Oh, man, he's going to get that, no problem.
Yeah, that really didn't
That's really bad
much.
for Rain.
Certainly not. Now, Rain has a few options here. He can grab a quick Warp Prism, which is kind of common with this as a follow-up against a build like this, because Immortal drops would be pretty insane against this. Also, you can harass with DT drops, forcing your opponent to stay at home a little bit more, maybe even force a cannon. But he's got a few options. With Zest, this makes perfect sense, going right into the Forge, knowing that he absolutely cannot die.
Well, on top of that, he can't really leave his base.
Yeah.
Might as well start upgrading.
Yeah, Exactly.
So we have the 2 gases finishing. We just have 1 DT parked right over here. Now, he might not move that until he has perhaps a second spotter checking. For instance, this fake Oracle. He wants to wait and see if the army of Zest is going to move out, because that's when he can send that DT in there and start hitting a lot of probes.
Yeah, it's a play that can backfire for sure, but it's definitely one that can be huge. Like, if you start to move out and they just move it right in and kill like 5-6 probes, the game shifts hugely into Rain's favor. But as of right now, you have to admit that Zest has a lead here, right? He's got a quicker upgrade. You know, the probe count is very similar, but I guess really the quicker upgrade and the immortal count are the 2 big things that Zest has going on for him right now.
Okay, we got some scouting here for Zest. And we actually have Zealot legs being upgraded now.
Yeah, we should see...
Zealot Archon be very strong here. He wants to remake that, let's say, with a timing attack up here. He's getting more gateways now. I believe there's 4 more we saw making. And the same thing going to happen here for Zest. But the tech routes are different right now. So although they're both gating up, they're in completely different directional techs right now.
And I think we might possibly see Immortal Harassment coming out of Zest. He did make a Warp Prism. Doesn't necessarily have to do that. Oh, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
That is hilarious.
Oh, that's so funny. What do you even do?
That's it.
I wonder if it would have been better to still wait and then hack your way through. I don't know.
That's so funny.
That's...
Well, it was a cannon.
Zest inadvertently blocks in. Was that a pylon there, or was that a cannon warp in it by that?
That was a cannon.
Oh, that was a cannon. Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so he is going to go for this Immortal Harassment. That is a great follow-up right now. This is definitely going to do some damage. You know, he just doesn't have the tech required to really stop this. It's about as much damage as I've ever seen on a Warp Prism that was doing this, and that'll like slow it down a bit, but still good choices by both players here. And Rain is actually going for the fast third type of play, which means we aren't going to see even 1 Immortal out of him most likely. He has to stay on Zealot Archon. He's going to just macro up like a crazy person and try to kill Zest if Zest gets out of position 1 time.
All right, Rain is just sitting back for the time being. We have Zest Temple Archive starting now as well. And, you know, just like PvP is nowadays, they both get a ton of gates before they get that third base.
Yeah.
No reason to not do it like that. Zest does have map control, though. He is going to try to move out now.
Yeah, Zest has a really good amount of units right now. Look at all those Zealots he has.
Okay, he's been spotted there by Rain.
Yeah. Pretty scary.
He's got a lot of Zealots, but there's a lot of Archons here, too.
The Archons are key.
Yep.
There's always the chance, by the way, that you pick off an Observer and you can warp in DTs, because that will change everything.
Okay, but with the 3 Archons of Zest, I actually think this could be a really strong timing here on the third base. And notice Zest is not making his own third here.
A couple problems with Zest, though. No charge. His +2 is not done, so he has no upgrade advantage whatsoever.
But I think now with that time warp there, let's see. He's still doing a little bit of targeting there on the Nexus.
I love this micro right now by Rain. He was trying to avoid engaging while that time warp was up, letting that Nexus Cannon do his work for him.
He'll probably have another warp in over here now. Note the probes haven't even been transferred here at this base. It wasn't clear if he was going to be able to keep that base. Counter harass here from Rain. Some Zealots being warped in over there. Meanwhile, it looks like Zest is going to try to engage. This is actually a pretty good angle. He could box in some more of those units over there. This is definitely a favorable angle right now, but I like the hallucinated Archons here, too. That's really sick.
Yeah, really nice. They can definitely soak up a ton of damage. In fact, keeping Archons back at the moment. These Immortals going to work. Yeah, fantastically done.
Completely shut this down. Really nicely done from start to finish here with Zest. The Zealot's not even useful. GG, Rain taps out Zest, completely dominating in game number 1.
Fantastically played. He did everything right there. Like, the thing is, he never got behind at all, and Rain still went for the third base. Normally you go for the third base when you have a slight tech advantage, because then your opponent kind of has to sit at home. But Zest added his gateways at the same time, made units nonstop instead of a Nexus, and he had those 2 Immortals instead of the few DTs that Rain had that never did anything. So he could hit that attack, and his army was just slightly better, and that was that.
The angling of the final attack was beautiful.
Beautifully done.
It was really nicely done. The space between the Nexus And to the left of that, the high ground entrance, it allowed a better curve, which matters so much when Archons are involved against Zealots.
Oh God,
because when you can start to bunch their Zealots up where they're at a worse or concave. We've talked about this with Stalkers and other engagements like in the ZVZ, for instance, but when you're talking about splash damage on Archons on Zealots, that snowballs so fast.
Oh yeah, it just, in no time, in 2-3 Archon volleys, you won the fight.
Yeah, that's it. It's
There's
over.
like no coming back from it. So definitely just expertly done by Zest. Rain had some really great ideas there. I liked how he was playing it, but Zest just didn't play scared enough. Rain hallucinated and faked an Oracle. He hallucinated and faked a Warp Prism. Both those can be follow-ups to DTs, but Zest was not deterred. Hit that attack just perfectly. Loved his play.
Map number 2 is going to be on Catalina.
Ooh, we could see 11 Gate Phoenix out of Zest. He loves it on big maps like Catalina.
I don't think we're going to see a hidden DT tech, at least for this game.
I don't think so.
Especially not from Rain. I don't even think Zest is going to do it. Zest has got to be feeling pretty confident after that series.
Sure.
By the way, don't forget, hilarious moment, that GT got boxed in by the buildings.
Yeah, that was
actually so funny.